What an absolute just fucking bizarre day for me, to say the least. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode of Lucas E. Allen Productions on YouTube and all audio platforms. Lucas E. Allen Show. With your podcast, your Saturday, November 15th of 2025. I have my notes here, it's November 14th. I did my notes yesterday. I forgot to do a podcast yesterday, to say the least. You know, I did power rankings for the NFL YouTube channel, but I'm probably postpone that from now on. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like really fucking tough for me right now. In a hotel right now. We're basically discussing two freaking things with wrestling, professional wrestling, and sports. Kind of fucking hard if you ask me. That's why I'm sticking to the wrestling topics for right now. To say it's the main YouTube channel, Lucas E. Allen, all audio platforms, Lucas E. Allen Show. What's going on? How y'all doing today? Let me know in the comment section about how your day is, to say the least. And by the way, before I forget, I'm hopefully, knock on wood, gonna have your AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts 2025 review for your Wednesday edition for November. It'll be the 12th of 2025. I love the women's Blood and Guts match, man. I thought that was a freaking banger, man. Freaking great Blood and Guts match, to say at least the women's side. This man was okay. Nothing special. Probably better than what the men's War Games match would get for the WWE side. Probably definitely for the women's side. The WWE is better on the AEW side, Blood and Guts, compared to the women's War Games. Let's be fucking real, people. The women's War Games match is going to be fucking just kind of a clusterfuck. Hopefully not. Knock on wood, though. I should be fucking better than somehow the women's Blood and Guts match. We'll find out that, though, to say at least. Follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Lucas E. Allen. Watch on YouTube today. Hit the like button on today's podcast. Hit the subscribe button if you've done so already. Turn the bell for your post notifications up on YouTube. And always leave a comment link in my episode for your Saturday, so November 15th of 2025. Watch on Spotify. Do the same thing with a comment on today's podcast. And also a 5-star rating would be very nice as well, to say the least. Now let's get right into your topics today, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? I'm discussing your WWE Elimination Chamber 2026 to take place at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. Be discussing that. This is a Friday Night Smackdown. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Start of 2026. WWE Smackdown moving back to 3 hours. Oh, fucking joy. This Smackdown in 2 hours isn't so bad. It's so bad. It's to Smackdown in 2026. So hold my fucking joint, whatever you want to fucking say, to say at least. The beer, whatever. This is going to be absolutely hate this fucking news. We're going to discuss that. Also, Joe Hendry, he signs with the WWE. TNA wrestler, obviously. Former TNA World Champion, obviously, Joe Hendry. We're discussing that. Also, Bianca Belair, the lovely Bianca Belair, provides an injury update on her wrist injury. Be discussing that. Also, Chris Jericho. This is a very interesting news topic here. It says TNA is the second biggest company in all of professional wrestling, after Bound for Glory, obviously. I don't know about that, Chris. But I'm going to share my opinions on that, though, to say at least in that side segment. Be discussing that. Also, Nikki Bella discusses negative comments she's been receiving since her WWE return. Be discussing that. Also, an MVP calls Triple H a liar and coward. Oh boy, he cannot just stop fucking drilling into Triple H. You know, I kind of love it, though, honestly. I kind of like it from MVP, definitely. Be discussing that. Also discussing Backstage news and Adam Copeland's AEW hiatus and status of the company. Be discussing that. Also finish off with Jim Ross revising health update. Obviously, beginning the medical issues all basically 2025. Because it's all in today's podcast. Glad you're joining it. Maybe as well as conversation your Saturday podcast. Your Saturday, November 15th of 2025. It's on today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Starting with, you guessed it, WWE Elimination Chamber 2026 to take place at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. WWE, in partnership with True Chicago, the city's official destination marketing organization, yesterday, I believe it was Thursday? It says today, that's why I said, but I don't think it was today. That was probably Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday. One of the 2 days, so Wednesday or Thursday, to say at least. Announced that it will return to the United Center in Chicago, Illinois. the largest indoor arena in the United States, for Elimination Chamber on Saturday, February 28th, 2026. It'll be interesting, man. The CM Punk, let's just say he loses the World Heavyweight Championship. He is not going to WrestleMania 42 as WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I don't know, let's just say he loses the championship to, Braun Breaker, maybe. You can build up Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania. And let's just say CM Punk does not even win the Royal Rumble match in Saudi Arabia. And obviously, he wins the Elimination Chamber in his hometown, Chicago, and faces the SmackDown World Champion, undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes. Who knows, maybe it'll be Cody Rhodes be a heel at that point. We ain't find out what that does, say at least, though. That should be interesting. I'd rather see that, honestly, and him going into WrestleMania as a World Heavyweight Champion. Have him going as a challenger and get his WrestleMania true main event. You know, night one, technically the main event night one this year. But that's just night one. It's obviously not the final match of WrestleMania. It'll be on night two, obviously. You know, even though I do count WrestleMania night one as the main event, obviously, I do count that as a main event. I really do. It's each night, though, to say at least. It's the final match of WrestleMania weekend, the whole WrestleMania saga, to say at least. That'll be interesting. CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. The undisputed WWE Champions may heel Cody Rhodes against a babyface CM Punk. What you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments section what you think about that, to say at least. I'm not saying I'm like looking forward to Chamber. Chamber is like basically a prop at this point. It literally is. Sometimes it's used greatly, and sometimes it can be very used as a freaking prop. I'm going to say this year was used as a problem. Maybe the women's side was not that bad. Even the men's side was pretty good too. The women's match was better than men's, though, honestly. Those are my thoughts on that, though, to say at least. Keep an update on this going forward. Elimination Chamber 2026 as we head into WrestleMania season. And soon enough with the Royal Rumble, to say at least. Oh boy. Let's discuss Friday Night Suckdown, man. WWE Friday Night Smackdown. I'm still yet to watch this show. From last I heard, it was fucking boring. I did hear Matt Cardona came back as Zack Ryder faced LA Knight and lose against LA Knight. That's all I heard was being full, though, to say at least, obviously. On to your Friday Night Smackdown news, moving back to 3 hours. Oh, fucking joy. Oh, boy. Friday Night Smackdown is reportedly set to become a 3-hour program once again, beginning in 2026. According to a report from WrestleVotes, the change is scheduled to take effect early in the new year. I believe it'd be, I just said it right now, obviously. Says in that quote, according to sources, WWE and USA Network has decided to move SmackDown back to 3 hours, beginning with January 2nd. Oh boy. From Buffalo, New York, the tweet read, on January 2nd, 2026, WWE is scheduled to be at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. Why, fucking why? Seriously, why the fuck, man? As this SmackDown can't be bad enough. At 2 hours, and we increase it for a third hour because this is expanding the freaking time zone. Why, man? Why? I ain't begging you. Why would you do this fucking bullshit decision? I cannot stand SmackDown at 2 hours. I'm going to be worse than 3 hours. Oh, fucking joy. I hear like fucking people online saying, oh, there's more time for the talent. The talent is not being utilized at the umpteenth level. Is it, though? Have we seen SmackDown at 3 hours at the start of the year? We just add more timeline to stuff to matches and segments. That's all it was. You ain't utilizing any underutilized talent. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm not using that whatsoever. Never did that at all. Like, seriously, stuff would drag out at 3 hours compared to the 2 hours. Even though the 2 hours suck. Even though the 3 hours being worse, though, obviously. Oh, why? Oh, fucking. Just watch the show last night and watch the show previous week. You know why this show does not deserve to be 3 hours? It doesn't deserve to be fucking 2 hours. It doesn't deserve to be fucking 1 hour, honestly, what the show's been getting recently. It is that bad. Like, what are we doing? What are we going to do at 3 hours? I mean, we use, what? Deanna James more prominently, so quote-unquote, or even Julia. Yeah, sure, but I'll believe when I fucking see it. You can do that at 2 hours. You don't have to fucking increase an hour just for fucking that. Or you kind of like those, to say at least. You don't need to do that whatsoever, man. You just don't. But whatever, I guess. Whatever fits GKO, Triple H, USA Network's fucking bout, I guess. I don't like it whatsoever, though. Obviously, that's my thoughts on this, though, to say the least. Moving on to Joe Hendry. He signs with the WWE full-time, obviously. One of TNA's most popular stars, Joe Hendry, has officially signed a contract with the WWE. The news was broken by Sean Rossap of Fightful.com, who confirmed this signing on X, where we know as Twitter, obviously. And his post-Sap stated, Joe Hendry is officially signed with the WWE at Fightful Select has confirmed, end quote. I absolutely love this for Joe Hendry. I would have him stay in NXT, obviously. Because if he goes right to the main roster, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? And plus, the NXT stars need, like, men's division. Desperate to use a guy desperate like Joe Hendry. Especially can eventually be an NXT World Champion. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do for him in the main roster? He's not going to be utilized more in NXT. In fact, Shawn Michaels, when we last seen Joe Hendry in the main roster, he was in a program with Randy Orton on WrestleMania on the main roster. And that was like a random, just like filler match. Much I like the moment, obviously. I like the moment Orton and Hendry for sure. But the match was just very subpar. It was just me, man. If you liked it, let me know in the comments if you don't like that match. But this, I'd rather him be an NXT, maybe potentially be an NXT North American Champion, maybe an NXT World Champion, waiting final with that, though, to say at least. I absolutely love this sign from WWE, though, especially for the NXT, where I can desperately use men's wrestlers in that fucking god-awful main event scene, and also mid-card divisions as well for Ethan Page, and also, obviously, Ricky Sainz as well. Those are my thoughts on this, though, to say at least for sure. Moving on to one of my personal favorites women's wrestlers in the world right now, Bianca Belair provides an injury update on her wrist injury she suffered WrestleMania 41 against Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. An injury has kept her sidelined for more than 6 months now, but Bianca Belair is hoping to make her WWE return soon. Belair suffered a hand injury while competing in a praised triple threat match against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for obviously the WWE Women's World Championship at WrestleMania 41 this past April. While there were reports a few months ago that Belair was expected to be clear after SummerSlam, but that did not happen. Obviously. She missed SummerSlam. A new episode of Bets 106 and Sports that aired this week, Belair detailed her injury and said that the recovery has been more complicated than expected. She says in a quote, "So I broke my knuckle, not my finger. I broke my knuckle. I broke the joint," Belair said. It's something that I thought was going to be a very straightforward, 8 to 12 weeks. But it's been almost 6 months at this point. Has it been almost 6 months? Man, I thought it'd be longer than that, but whatever. That's not bad. The SmackDown Women's Division does, obviously, Bianca Belair. She then explained that the moment when the injury occurred during the match at the Legion Stadium in Las Vegas. But it was WrestleMania. I was in a triple threat match at Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Also, like I said, a Women's World Championship. We were going to the top rope because that's what we do. We came off the top rope and Rhea landed straight on my hand. That sounds awful. And that it was just crushed everything in my finger. So it's been a very crazy journey, being an athlete, and being an injury, having an injury you can rely on your body. Now I lost my notes there, obviously, for a second. My body's not doing what it's supposed to do, but I'm hoping that I can be back in the ring very soon. End quote. So obviously, love to see that, obviously. I don't think she's going to be back the rest of the year to say. I do think she'll probably be back in the Women's Royal match in 2026 in Saudi Arabia. I can see, honestly, her and Liv Morgan being the final two. I can definitely see that. Two women that are basically were out most of the year in 2025 too, right? Liv was out in the summer, and Belair was kicking out WrestleMania as well. Hope to see Bianca Belair back, and definitely looking forward to hopefully a Jade Cargill, a heel Jade Cargill, and a babyface Bianca Belair one-on-one match at WrestleMania for the WWE Women's Championship on Friday Night SmackDown, obviously. Should be fun if you ask me for that, for sure, to say at least. Those are my thoughts on this, for sure. Just hope to see Bianca Belair back sooner rather than later, doing what she's best at, is wrestling, obviously, on Friday Night SmackDown, to say at least. Keep updated on her going forward, if you ask me. Moving on to Nikki Bella discusses negative comments she's been receiving since her WWE return. Following her heel turn on Stephanie Vaquer in the November 10th Monday Night Raw episode in Boston, Massachusetts, Nikki Bella is embracing a new attitude, pushing back against fan criticism. Speaking on Sirius XM's Nikki and Bree show, Nikki addressed the hateful chants that she received from the Boston crowd. She says, and I quote, "The hate is so gross, even some of the chants that I got last night, me and Mossy Raw, figured this podcast on Tuesday, I believe. Like it's the same." Nikki said. Bree added, "Okay, I thought I heard some chants I didn't like when I was watching." Nikki admitted that she was so focused she didn't even hear it until her family mentioned it to her. While the exact chants or specified reports from Boston events noted a chant to chant "You fucked up," which I believe there's another one as well, as saying Cena left you, to say at least. That's what she turned on Stephanie during other segments of the show as well. Nikki also spoke on her dedication to the business, revealing that she's the sacrifices she makes for fans to do not see. It's not like I come off here like I always act. So, when I had 2 days free where I didn't have my son, I flew to Orlando just to get in the ring for 5 hours to fly straight back. I don't talk about all the stuff all the time, but the people that know that I truly love this business, and I wanted to get all to say at least. I do see that from her dedication from Nikki Bella, to say at least. So that's my fan, Nikki Bella. She might not be the best wrestler on paper, obviously, like an Io Sky type wrestler, but she's definitely serviceable. And plus, she's a beautiful, gorgeous woman. She can actually bust her ass, man. She's been busting her ass, man. And she wants to get better and better, and I can see the improvements she made. Definitely a time off, and I'll see back in when she was wrestling in 2017 and stuff like that. So she's gotten better and better with that, to say at least. She referenced recent comments from WWE star Big E, who praised her heel turn on Raw recap show, saying, "We want a ruthless Nikki Bella," and who was going after world titles. Nikki's new attitude seems to align with that. I really loved what Big E said, and yeah, I don't need to just sit around and always put people over. I know what I can do now. I know what my worth is, and you're going to start to hear a lot more, and so you'll wait for Monday for that, end quote, to say at least. Love to hear that type of stuff from Nikki Bella. But I have to be honest here. I love the heel, I like the heel turn Raw, and there wasn't much needed heel turn for Nikki Bella. It's better Nikki Bella as a heel. I don't like the way they're playing into this, as I'll say at least. I don't like she's talking about this. And you can basically put up you basically say stuff like, "Oh, Cena left you," and chants like that affect you. She didn't really say affected her. Like I said, she didn't even know about it until her family said it. But still, I don't think she needs to mention anything like this about that. But those are my thoughts on this, though, to say. I did like the heel turn on Raw, though, so I was pretty fine with that, though, to say at least. Keep up there with Nikki Bella does on Monday Night Raw, and a feud with Stephanie Becker for the WWE Women's World Championship, to say at least. But you're going to look for that match for sure, to say at least. Moving on to Chris Jericho. Has been an elephant in a room that says TNA is the second biggest company in all of professional wrestling. After Bound for Glory, obviously, I think TNA's biggest show of the year, honestly. Chris Jericho had high praise for TNA's recent Bound for Glory event, saying his presentation made the company look like the second biggest in the world. Speaking on his Talk Is Jericho podcast, the former AEW World Champion was impressed by the visual scale of TNA's October 12, 2025 pay-per-view. TNA's Bound for Glory took place in Tolesca's Center, I guess how you say it, in Lowell, Massachusetts. TNA announced that the North American audience record of 7,794 for the event, fans for the event, which is also a record venue. Reports from WrestleNomics know that the turnstile count was 6,137. The visual of the packed arena was a great success. Jericho also compared TNA's large arena to presentation to a recent AEW Dynamite show at the 2-300 Arena, the former ECW Arena as well. I don't think you need to do that at all, but this is his opinion, to say at least. He says in the quote, "That crowd looked huge. It looked huge. It was not like a WWE level crowd." Desco crashing. I'm sorry about that. "The place was packed." Jericho said, "I was watching this and not saying anything. I was school here. Like a parent to watching Dynamite when they were at the ECW Arena, which looked like a Tony Cantanio tape, and I don't know what the fuck that is, though. Sorry, it did. TNA looked like the second biggest company in the world, and that was amazing, and the presentation was amazing." End quotes. Let me ask you this, though, Chris. Would Frankie Kazarian be the TNA World Champion As obviously that happened on this past weekend, TNA, obviously. If they're the second biggest company in the world, would Frankie Kazarian be the world champion? If they're really the second biggest company in the world, at least pretend to be the second biggest company in the world, I have a question to ask you, Chris. Just asking the honest questions. But I gave what he's saying now. I did give what he's saying there, though, say at least. Jericho's comparison references to AEW's recency at Truth 300 Arena in Philadelphia during August and September. Those imminent shows had a capacity of 916 people, which sold out, which is crazy though. The Tony Candelano taping references to Tony Candelano, a Canadian promoter at Manaba, known for his low-budget Death Tour. Oh boy, maybe I can see that though. Remote Communities, which is his complete opposite of large-scale arena production. Interesting there though, to say at least. Is Jericho right? I don't think he's right at all. I really don't. I get what he's saying with the fans and stuff, but let's be real, people. You never know. Ever since, if TNA was never with the WWE in like a relationship with NXT, they wouldn't be even as big in the companies that they are right now. Not even close. Like, they did this with AEW recently, the partnership for AEW. They didn't go nowhere either. And they're not the WWE. If they were by themselves, just worrying about their own stuff to sell, they probably wouldn't even sniff AEW for the second biggest company in the world. But I get what Jericho is saying. Probably just a dig at AEW. I don't mind taking a dig at AEW for his sake. But Chris, I gotta be honest, man. This is not the rightest thing to say. I mean, I know he's taking a dig at AEW. And I don't mind taking a dig at AEW. But you gotta at least be semi-factual. I mean, he semi is to a point, but I don't think you need to compare it to the fans and stuff. That's just freaking bizarre. And anything, you compare New Japan stuff like that to TNA. You really can't if you think about it, to say at least. Those are my thoughts on this situation, to say at least. I do think Chris Jericho will be back in WWE eventually. That's probably why he also said it too. Probably why he said it. We'll keep it updating him going forward if you ask me. Moving on to more AEW news. MVP calls Triple H a liar and coward. Oh boy, he can just give Triple H out of his mouth, man. I love it though for MVP. AEW's MVP Mattel Vontavious Porter has once again took aim at WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H, this time agreeing with Bret Hart's famous assertion that he is a phony during a recent interview with Adventure Gamers. MVP elaborated on his feelings, calling Triple H a liar and a coward. Man, I agree with Bret's assertion. I've said before, I call him a coward and liar. MVP said, let's put it like this. If you really want to, can go on YouTube and you can look up the interviews of various wrestlers throughout the years of what their opinion is of the man. Interviews of guys that are his friends that they had to say about the guy. I could think of more guys that dislike him than I could think of that like him, though, end quote. MVP dismissed any notion that his feelings are based on bitterness, stemming from direct personal issues, and MVP said people say MVP salty or bitter. Like, no, I have personal issues with the dude stemming from professional stuff, but just the things that he does, how he carries himself, I just don't have any respect for the guy. So don't blame him, though, to say at least. Triple H, it seems like a fucking guy you want to punch in the face, honestly. Honestly, just stating the honest truth there. This echoes previous comments from MVP made on an interview with TMZ Inside the Ring. In that discussion, MVP declined to go into specific details, but made his position clear. I stand by those words. I have zero respect for him personally and for professionally. He said at the time, and when I tell why, and people will be like, okay, that makes sense. End quote. In the interview with Adventure Gamers, MVP drew a distinction between the newer generation of talent who came up through Triple H's version of NXT and the veterans who worked with him as a peer. The newer generation, they don't know that guy yet. MVP explained, so one of those that came up underneath him in NXT that they think he's brilliant, and a lot of them should per hand he's had in his career. But the guys that had to work with him back in the day will tell you a different story, almost overwhelming to still, end quote. He concluded by reiterating that his opinion is not an isolated one, And so it's not just me saying it. There are guys who are way up there at the totem pole than me that are telling you that the guy is a no bueno, end quote. She definitely is. This is Triple H is the type of guy you think he's just a fucking moron. Just like, say Tony Khan, the owner if he works there, honestly, and Tony Khan is much better. But Triple H is not that good either, people. He ain't really Papa H, people. He really ain't. He's just a guy, basically like Vince McMahon with the sex allegations. People think Tony Khan would say that too. I think he's somebody like that too, to a point, but a lot less than Triple H, though. Triple H is the type of guy you just want to take a sucker punch right to his fucking face. I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I'm just saying for people like MVP and wrestlers in that locker room, or AEW, even in WWE to the current day. We ain't fine with that, though, so those are my thoughts on the situation for sure. Moving on, backstage news on Adam Copeland's AEW status and hiatus. Adam Copeland will be back on AEW programming in the immediate future. The former Edge has been away from the AEW TV since the post-All Out episode Dynamite in September. On that September episode, Copeland told Christian Cage he needed to step away to find himself, the storyline moment. Came after he watched FTR take out Beth Phoenix following Copeland and Christian's win over Dax Hart and Castro at FTR at All Out. Copeland initially stepped away from AEW due to filming for Percy and the Olympians, but he is now filming another project. According to PW Insider, Copeland has been spotted in London, England, due to filming the Beekeeper 2. I think that's how you say it. The report notes that the former WWE champion will be working on the project for a majority of November. Congratulations to Adam Copeland. Coming a movie, man. There, Mr. Cope, man. Cope. And guys, no longer Cope, man. Just call him like his real name, Adam Copeland. God, how much I hate that shit, man. But anyways, good for Adam Copeland getting more movies into him to say he's more in the movie business and Hollywood and stuff like that. So good for him, though, to say this. Keep up there when he inevitably comes back to AEW eventually, maybe in 2026 or something, maybe before Double or Nothing, maybe in a Revolution, honestly. Keep up there on him going forward if you ask me to say at least. And finally, for your Saturday podcast, November 15, 2025, your news, obviously, Jim Ross provides a health update on his health conditions throughout this past year in AEW. Jim Ross is back in the saddle on the latest episode of Grill and JR podcast. The Hall of Fame announcer returned to the show for the first time in several weeks, providing a significant update on his health, his living situation, and his future with AEW. Ross also confirmed that he's officially moved back to Oklahoma, or his son's property in Florida. No, I actually have news, a piece of news. I like that you said that, new news. I finally sold my condo in Jacksonville, so we'll be closing on that in the final days. He said, I'm in Norman, Oklahoma, so my place in Jacksonville is sold, which is a great relief. Back home, Ross also said that his health has improved significantly. Great to hear that, obviously. Credit his family and my kids have been taking great care of me. He said, I got it made, and I am very happy. He also mentioned a positive checkup. I had a cardiologist appointment yesterday, and I'm pleased with what he said he saw. So far, I haven't had any issues with my heart. I'm alive. A few months ago at this time, I wasn't so sure about the outcome. But I'm here now, here I am now, and here we are, Ross stated. With his health improving, Ross confirmed he plans to be back at the AEW commentary desk soon. When asked if he would be calling wrestling again sooner rather than later, Ross was defiant, said, yeah, absolutely, that's the plan in the next few weeks, so yeah, I'm excited about that opportunity, he said, end quote. Great to hear Jim Ross is all healthy and everything, to say at least for the time being. Hope to see him back in AEW commentary. We'll probably be on a part-time basis. No way he'd be back full-time at any time anymore, to say at least. Or as WWE or AEW, probably back in AEW, maybe for big-time events, maybe like pay-per-views. Maybe we'll be back for Full Gear, maybe we'll find over that, though, to say at least. Those are my thoughts on Jim Ross' situation for sure. Great to see that man in full health. That was a living legend, is growing JR, to say at least. The Oklahoma Sooner man fan himself, Mr. Jim Ross himself, to say at least. Grateful he's in great health, though, to say at least, for sure. Thank y'all for watching your Lucas E. Allen Productions podcast for your Saturday, November 15, 2025. This podcast went rapid fire speed, man. Probably because a lot of stuff to do, though, to say. He's got more reviews coming up with Blood and Guts. We'll review that. So I'm not going to review NXT this week. I'm going to reserve for Blood and Guts and probably Monday for your SmackDown review as well. And until next time, trust me, the next time, peace and love, I am out. Take care. Love you all big time, to say the least.